Right. Take it to black. Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Take it to black. Back in it. Little boys and girls. The monkey man. And of course, that woman. The one with the pretty face, the fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake eyes, fake boobies, fake nails, and a fake bottom. This one goes out to you as well. Now, we're back on mortgage, right? Now, what we did before is to show you the statutory way of dealing with a mortgage and also the equitable way of dealing with a mortgage. So today we're going to do something different, which is frustration of contract or cancellation more. Frustration is another means of doing it. But what we're going to be focusing today is on contract law and how to rescind your alleged mortgage agreement. Now, as far as the statutory causes of action are concerned, I can give you a whole list of the statutory ones. It's a breach of Land Protection Act, breach of, what do you call it? Land Registration Act, Human Rights Act, Data Protection Act, Administration of Justice Act. Anything statutory is fake. It's a legal fiction. It doesn't exist really. Right. Now, we've given you the statutory means of doing it, but I'll do it again. So the sections you need to show that your mortgage is illegal or is void and null and it breaches all statutes is Section 52, subsection 1 of the Law of Property Act, also Section 1, subsection 3 of the Law of Property Act. They put miscellaneous provisions. The next one is Section 27, subsection 3 of the Land Registration Act, also Section 64 of the Land Registration Act, also Sections 1, 2, 3 of the Land Registration Act. I have it here somewhere, I think. Yeah, that's the one anyway. But we're not doing statutes today. We've given enough statutes to demolish the bank and the bogus claim over your property. Now, equitable solution remedy is equity court, and you bring a claim for unjust enrichment. That's how you do it. However, today we're going to focus on three things that are completely different. We'll call it an acquired title action, which is contract law. So we're not dealing with any statutes, and we're not dealing with any equitable remedy claims. You're simply canceling the contract. Okay? So grounds for cancellation, termination, and rescission of the alleged mortgage contract can be on the following grounds. Number one, misrepresentation of contract. Okay? That causes the contract to fail. It says the alleged mortgage contract fails and is void ab initio because the intent is always critical. The intention of the bank was never on lending man a single penny out of his assets or depositor money. Okay? So a defect in the formation of contract, such as a misrepresentation, fraud, concealment, which you're very good at, and undue influence, does warrant rescission of the contract. Or what you could do, if you've got enough balls, okay, is to call the solicitors and ask them to set aside the agreement through negotiation, so you don't have to go through litigation. It's fairly easy nowadays to deal with the solicitors, you see. So there you go. Number one, misrepresentation of contract. The bank never had any intention of lending you a single penny. What they did was convert the promissory note that you signed into their fiat currency and give it back to you. So that is a criminal act, because the three elements, which is mens rea, actus reus, and corpus delicti, exist. Easy. So you write a letter or give them notice of rescission of contract based on contract law. It's not statutory, it's not equitable. It's simply you cancel a contract because it's void ab initio. The intentions of the party, their party, was not clear. Number two is called anticipated breach. So you can rescind a contract if you realize that the other party had no intention of fulfilling the contract straight from the beginning. It's called anticipated breach. So a contract is made valid only by lawful and valuable consideration. Therefore, the fact is a fact. It's not illusion like they operate. Therefore, the fact that the intention of the bank is to give man no valuable consideration causes failure and invalidity of the alleged mortgage agreement for reason of anticipated breach. How easy is that? So you write a notice of rescission of contract based on anticipated breach. And if you need to explain it to the bank, explain it to them clearly that you believed or you thought they were going to give you a loan out of the bank's assets. That was not the intention from the start. They intended to breach the contract from the beginning. Third one, frustration of contract. This is based on the government coconut virus pandemic. The way it treats is this, that if the government has made it illegal, impossible, or radically different, such that you cannot perform, or you cannot go out and earn money to pay this mortgage, then you can invoke the doctrine of frustration of contract. Okay, so we have all the letters for that. I wonder if you can see. I think it might not be very clear, but anyway, we have all this ammunition. So here I've given you another 3 ways of canceling the contract. You can use one or all of them in the same notice. Right? So look into contract law. It's not a statutory remedy. It's not an equitable remedy. Okay? It's contract law. And I think the boys and the girls might not understand what a mortgage is, but grown men and women know what a mortgage is and how it's created. So once you know what a mortgage is and how it's created, then you carry on with this business. Your mortgage is a unilateral contract signed by yourself. There's no other signatory in it or on it. Therefore, you have every right to cancel it. Okay? So, cancellation of contract, rescission of contract. So, what you do is you give notice of rescission of contract, and you give the grounds why you're rescinding the contract. And should they ever dare to write to you from their solicitor saying that you should carry on paying the mortgage, and if you don't, they're going to take you to court, then inform them, the solicitor, that the agreement has been cancelled. If need be, send them a copy of the cancellation notice and inform them that if should they choose to bring a claim in the county court, you'll be notifying the court that the contract is rescinded, and you'll be asking for the matter to be taken to the proper jurisdiction that deals with mortgages and trusts, i.e. Chancery. The solicitors won't be able to do that. Okay, so people just need to grow some balls and stop being pussies. This mortgage business is going on too long. People are sleeping, they own the house, and they're still paying out mortgage because they don't have the nerve to write a simple notice of termination of contract, right? There's a serious defect in your mortgage agreement. The formation of the contract is clouded by misrepresentation, concealment, and fraud. Okay? That's enough grounds to to cancel, rescind that contract. I won't go into the details of it because we've done mortgage talks enough, but we have enough information to challenge the bank at any given moment, right? I'd like to focus on this one here. So if you ever receive a letter from a solicitor, once you've frustrated or cancelled or rescinded the mortgage agreement, and they want to take you to court, then say to him, fine, okay, I'll see you in court, motherfucker. But guess what? I'll be expecting you to give sight of the accounting for the alleged loan, okay? That's a task that they cannot perform because the accounting is going to show in written form that the bank gave you nothing of any genuine value or worth as its side of the alleged mortgage agreement, okay? So there's so much information to do with mortgages here that the bank don't have a leg to stand on, right? So this is how you do it. So you file, number one, you rescind the contract, and then you serve them something called revocation of power of attorney. All right? So they have notice of the non-existence of power of attorney, right? Which is going to invalidate any further transfers that they do. You're the man, you're the mortgager and the mortgagee. Without you, there'll be no mortgage. So you need to stand up, be a man, stop being a mouse, and start giving the bank hell. Because these are criminals. They're committing a criminal act. All right? So I won't go into right now how they change your promissory note into fiat currency to give back to you. That's already in the talks. If there's anybody who's interested in seeing this stuff, we have this mortgage talk already. So there you go. Another way how to deal with a bank. Away from statutory remedies, away from equitable remedy, what you do is rescind the contract based on misrepresentation, number one, anticipated breach, number two, and number three, you frustrate the contract by invoking the doctrine of frustration, with the supervening event being the government coconut virus lockdown. Okay, so ABC, easy. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that's good, useful. Little boys and girls, you know what you need to do. You need to go and drink your milk so that you grow up to be a big, strong, hairy, tattooed man just like your mother. Okay? So take it to black on your monkey ass. Eee!